Do not settle for the crumbs. You should have the whole cake, the icing, and the cherry on top too.
All right. Welcome back to the Crumbs, episode 23. Caro, you're in the studio. How are you?
I'm good. How are you off your America trip?
Whirlwind, some of the best moments of all time. I don't know if
Cool.
interviewing Asia Wilson will ever be topped.
That is
Like,
a unique.
I can't even
unique
explain it.
feeling. Yeah.
Like, what a superstar.
Did you stand next to her?
Yes.
Was she really tall compared to you?
Oh, she's like double my height. So I was like,
Hello.
but what a,
Had a
like,
sore neck after
the
that.
way she spoke, like I checked my recording on my phone and it's like 4.5 minutes. So it's like short. But funnily enough, Caitlin Clark's press conference was on at the same time, like the pre-game press conference.
Yeah.
So I think I actually was really lucky. I asked to interview Asia and everyone else was going to Caitlin Clark's press conference.
Yeah,
So
good timing.
I was really lucky and there were two other reporters. So it was really cool. But what an amazing woman, and the way she spoke and her professionalism and her love for Vegas and that team is, you know. But it was awesome. But I'm back.
She's back.
I'm back in the studio, but I'm worried
Oh, why are you worried?
because you don't have sunglasses on.
Guys, I've lost them. Though,
I don't believe it.
I either think because a lot of people honestly don't like those glasses. Like, they're actually kind
Like
of
who?
like my friends. They think they look ugly. So I think someone sabotaged me and like stolen them.
Maybe your mum
Yeah, I
hid them
think
in a
someone's
cupboard.
hidden them because I can't find them. I thought maybe they were in here, but I had a look.
Mama Caro,
Bring me back my
bring the
glasses.
glasses back out. They need to be
Actually
back
shocking.
on our next episode.
Yeah, I'm actually really lost without them. I had a ball where the theme was like a goofy accessory.
Oh no.
And so for the whole week I planned to wear the glasses, couldn't find them.
Oh no.
Dark days.
Oh, horrible. This is a horrible
Yeah.
time. We've got a special guest this episode, so we're not going to talk for too long, but it's a good time for us to catch up. We
Yeah.
haven't chatted for a while, and
No,
obviously
no.
on my screen, I'll introduce our guest a little bit later. DeWanna Bonner has been big news, and we put a reel up. I will admit when I'm wrong. It doesn't happen often, so I'm happy to admit when I am wrong.
When were you wrong?
I was wrong because I suggested Bonner would be really pivotal,
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
you mean
Indiana
back then.
fever.
Oh, yeah.
and
Shocking
that didn't
call.
work out. We'll come back to her, and it's
I was right, by the way. Just
You
in case
were
anyone
right.
wanted to
You're still
listen.
right at the moment.
I'm still very right.
but the All-Star game is coming up in Indy, which is awesome.
Yep.
Our special guest, Amelia Mehmet-Grohn, and I checked the pronunciation to get
glad.
that right.
Glad.
She is a pro golfer. She's playing on the women's tour in Australia, and she's preparing in 2026 to qualify for the LPGA. A star, Division 1 at Iowa University in the States. Just an amazing woman doing really cool stuff in sport. We're going to catch up with her a little bit later. But we're going to kick off this episode with DeWanna Bonner. And I want to ask you,
Talk
I
of the
was
town.
in the US while this was sort of all playing out, and
Yeah.
all the reports of her not being happy, missing due to personal issues.
Yeah.
And when you see a player like this, like it was missed 3 games, missed 4 games, missed 5 games for personal reasons, you know that's rubbish.
Yeah.
She's unhappy.
Yeah.
What were you seeing on socials, or what were you sort of seeing when you were following this one?
I was obviously seeing that out, and like when it first happens, I was like, oh, like something's happened, like whatever. Like they obviously never say because personal reasons can either be something very bad or whatever, just none of our business. And then we just kept getting a few weeks. I was like, okay, and then I saw a post, and it was something like reports say DeWanna will never play for Indiana again, and I was like, huh. And then it all started to come out, and I was like, okay, like she's not happy there. Like there's a little bit more to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it was a weird one. And I think as soon as it happened, and then I heard Stephanie White's comments, and like I respect her a lot. I think she's a very respectable figure in the game, and I think, I've yet to really hear a bad thing about her. After hearing what she said, I was a bit like, okay, I think I have an idea of what happened here. And then she went straight to Phoenix, and I mean, I don't know. It's just, as you said, we'll talk about this earlier, the case of, like, you know, she came in thinking she was going to be starting 5, which, you know, she has in her time been a very good player.
Mm-hmm.
And then she didn't really, you know, perform to her name, I guess, got sent to the bench, and it just kind of all unravels. And to me, that's just like, it's just a bad team player. That's my personal opinion of it. I think when you get older and you may be out of your prime, that's when you need to identify that you have maybe your role in the team changes, and obviously she hasn't accepted that.
Well, and it seemed from afar that there was a role for her.
Yeah.
And I'm, you know, again, it's all hearsay and assumption.
Yeah.
But surface level
Allegedly.
suggests that she's not playing. She wasn't playing well when she did start.
Yeah.
So we're going to go with some others. Lexi Hull was getting time.
Lexi,
Sophie
yep.
Cunningham was getting time. They were doing well, and she wasn't.
Yeah.
So it seemed like she didn't want to come off the bench. Now it seems like she's happy coming off the bench
Yeah.
in Phoenix because her wife's there.
Yeah.
And she's back, really. And look, it's kind of cool story that
It's
she's
a
gone
full
back
circle.
to Phoenix.
Yeah, I like that part of it.
Yeah. 2010, I think she was a number 5 pick. That's where she started her career. She's won championships in Phoenix. And let's be honest, too. Her better half, I'm going to say better half, Alyssa Thomas, who we talked about in the
Not
preseason.
picking favourites or anything.
No.
but-
But yes, she'd already been dominating.
Yeah.
And so this came up a couple of days ago. Second player in WNBA history, 4,000 points or 4,000 points plus, 2,500 rebounds and 1,500 assists. There's only one other player who's ever had those statistics, and it's Candace Parker.
Oh.
Yes, everyone. I was at her jersey retirement game,
That's
and it
LA.
was freaking amazing. I was in her press conference when she talked to the press before the game. Getting back to AT, though, she's had a stellar season.
Yeah.
But then DeWanna Bonner turns up, career high, 29 points. The Phoenix knock off the number 1 team in the league, the Minnesota Lynx.
Phoenix are dangerous.
And she dominated. And there's sort of the story at the moment for me. They're like, in our preseason chat, I was like, they'll be down the bottom.
yeah, I said
They
that
won't
too.
be that good. You know, the GOAT's gone.
I
It's
don't
a
know
new
who
phase
half
for
their
them.
team is.
That's right. And here we are going, well, hang on a minute. They're the
good.
real deal.
They're
Sammy
kinda good.
Whitcomb is like
Oh, yeah.
killing it.
Shout out
she's
our
killing
Aussie.
Shout out Sammy, who, by the way, people, follows the Crumbs on Instagram. We don't have
promo or anything, but
we don't have a large following, but Sammy, you are a star.
bam, Sam.
And we appreciate you following the Crumbs. They're doing cool shit in Phoenix. 9th sellout. This was their last game.
That's cool.
More than 10,000 fans.
And their social media also. is
They
popping
have the best social media team
He does
in
this one.
the WNBA.
Yep.
I'm telling you now, if you
Don't
don't
say that.
follow, and I'm going to bring up followers on Facebook, even though I know Facebook is for old people like
Yeah,
me.
boo.
But I'm going to bring up the followers just to show people. But Phoenix have the best Instagram page or account of any of the teams. You need to follow it. It's
I
brilliant.
follow it. I see the
No, not
memes.
you.
Oh.
Those
Good on
people.
me. I was
Those
like,
people. Hello.
hello.
You need to.
Y'all need to follow.
They need to follow it. But Sammy Whitcomb has, look, in all seriousness, just been dominating. I know, like, these stats, the 36 points is, you know, even above that. But her
incredible.
3-point shooting
Oh, killer from the
has been
three-point
out of
line.
this world. And it has been really cool also. Just a shout out to the other Aussies. Obviously, Beck Allen had her best
Yep.
game, a career high. I think it was 27 points a couple of days ago. Alana Smith's been
Yep.
super for the Lynx. Like, she's been a great sort of sidekick for Nafisa Collier and Courtney Williams. She's been killing it. The Aussies are doing stuff over
We
there.
love our Aussies
You
in
know,
the W.
I actually thought Chloe Bibby was doing pretty well
Yeah.
for the Valkyries before she got
The Valkyries are
let go.
doing some weird stuff
weird
happening
moves.
up there.
Yeah, weird roster moves.
Yeah, just like I understand that with the Euros, they had a few players go
Mm.
over and then they suspend them for the month and then they bring back. Sorry, guys. They bring back people like Chloe who originally got waived and
Yeah.
Mara. But yeah, did you hear about the Julie Van Loo stuff?
I've
that
been
was
following that.
That was something. Like, I don't know. I just think that's poor form.
And then they came out and said, no, we did it out of respect. Like, we made her come back here immediately and miss the celebrations of her team
hello?
winning to cut her and say goodbye?
Yeah, that's not respect to me.
That
but
does not.
we all have our different.
Wouldn't you be
things
like,
of
no,
what-
no, no,
Don't
no,
enjoy.
stay there,
Enjoy
stay
the
there.
medal ceremony.
Oh my
It's a
god,
crazy
so
word.
strange. Phoenix doing awesome stuff. We'll talk about the other teams in a minute. But
All-Star.
19th, so next weekend, the All-Star
Yep.
game. Indiana, and this is massive. Everyone knows why this is more massive than normal, because it is in Caitlin Clark's home city. The teams have been picked. Now,
Were you a bit shocked by some of?
I am.
the
I want your
selections?
feedback, because the feedback I've been reading online is Caitlin Clark's wants all her FIFA teammates and wants to have fun. Nafisa wants to win. That's the feedback I've been watching. What were your thoughts when you saw them selected?
Okay, this might be a controversial opinion, but first of all, I don't think Caitlin should have been a captain. That's just me, but
I don't think that's controversial. I
okay.
think
Do you agree with that?
everybody, I do.
Okay, good.
But I understand why she is.
I get it, but I just think
And
if
the
I
two
was
top-
someone else,
the
like
two
if-
top vote getters are the captains this year.
yeah, but she was like 9th in player voting.
But also, so this is the other thing about the voting. I understand she was 9th in player voting, but that's ridiculous too. Like, I don't think she's in the top 3 or 4, but she's not 9th.
Yeah,
in
she's
that,
not 9. Yeah,
in that
was probably a
group,
bit
that
rough.
was rubbish.
Yeah,
So people at the moment are either going all in CC camp,
Yeah.
or I'm annoyed and bitter, so I'm the opposite. Like,
because
you
I
can't.
think it should have been Asia versus Collier. I
Well,
think Asia should have been a captain.
the reigning MVP.
Because she's never been a captain, has she? Because it was Stewie last year, I'm pretty sure. Stewie
Yeah, it
versus-
was Stewie.
Wait, no, they played the Olympics last.
They did. They played
the
the
year
Olympic
before.
team before
Yeah.
Paris, yeah.
Like, I just think Asia's been a bit snubbed all these years.
She
but
has, but I understand why they've got those captains. They
I
had the
was-
2 highest votes.
Okay, when I say shocked, not necessarily shocked. Like, not saying they don't deserve to be. Like, I don't think they should be there. But Sonia and Kiki, both of them, I
Mhm.
was like not expecting that. I was like,
Mhm.
that's huge.
It is.
And Kayla Thornton, I was not
Yeah,
expecting
yep.
that one.
Yep.
Are there any big misses, do you reckon? Like, who aren't there, who should be there?
I might be biased saying this because I've just been over there, but I think Hamby,
Yeah.
she's been outstanding. And I think sometimes when teams aren't playing well, the good players who are producing, like, she's been pretty dominant for that team. And
Yeah.
she's even been outscoring Kelsey Plum on the odd
Yeah.
occasion too. Not the odd occasion, actually. It's been more than that. Plum's played well, don't get me wrong, but Hamby
Hamby-
has been,
She's been consistent.
she's been good.
Yeah.
So I think she missed out.
Yeah.
Look, every year there's going to be players who
Maybe
you
we
say,
need a third
"Ah."
team.
Well, I think every year
Best of 3.
you see that there's players that probably should make it and they miss out, and that's just the way it has
Yeah.
to be. But she would be the one that I think is hard done by.
Yeah.
And she came out and, has made her own comments, but it is what it is. She also said that. It is what it is.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Yeah, you can't change it. Yeah.
But it is cool to see the rookies. And I
Yeah.
think it is cool to see, and Nafisa spoke about her and Stewie playing with Paige and
That's
the Yukon connection,
crazy,
the
yeah.
Husky connection. So that'll be cool to watch, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm pumped to watch it. Like,
Oh, it's gonna be a good game. Like,
yeah. I think it'll be great.
My favorite, a bit of a sidetrack, but my favorite memory of an All-Star game. I don't know if you remember this. It was probably like 2 years ago, when Jackie Young was the only Vegas player on one team, and then Asia, Chelsea, and everyone was on the
Everyone
other.
was on the other team.
And they just like never let her get the
remember.
ball. They like ganged up on her. It was the funniest thing.
I think that
So I
was
hope there's a bit
might
of
have been
that
3 years ago.
energy. Like, I hope there's just like, I love watching it for fun. Like, obviously you want to win, but it's all
I
a
feel
bit
like
of
it
fun.
would have been cool to have, at least Boston or Mitchell, one of them to be on the other team. I don't know.
Mix it
whatever.
up a little bit.
I do think the coach swap was funny, and that's kind of cool. So
Yeah.
Brondello going to coach Caitlin Clark's team
Yeah.
instead. I think that'd be cool. But we'll be watching that, and this is cool. Like,
Yeah.
and this is amazing marketing opportunity for the WNBA.
Yeah.
Obviously hosting the All-Star game in Indianapolis to start with, but the marketing opportunity with Caitlin Clark. And I don't know if you've been following all the stats, and I wrote an article a couple of weeks ago saying, she's changing the game for women in sport, for sport. not just women's basketball, but women in sport.
Yeah.
And she's creating opportunities. However, also on the flip side, when she stopped playing through injury, ratings dropped 50%. 50%. Like, I think everybody knew there would be a drop, but not half the audience. Half the audience stopped watching. That's nuts.
That's bad.
Dallas had sold out their arena. Like, you know, they'd all moved their games
To big arenas.
to make sure they could fit everyone, and she didn't play. You know, everyone still turned up, and she was on the bench, and, you know, even on the bench, she's on all the broadcasts.
Yeah, I know. It's like a Caitlin
zooming in on
Clark
her.
cam.
She's coaching, like.
She'll do the most like the smallest thing, and it's like turned into like a big moment. It's like, oh, look what Caitlin did. I'm like, that's normal.
It's just crazy. I will say, like, I was on the court. Like, this is a amazing life moment. But I was on the court, actually down the end where the Fever was shooting pre-game, and Caitlin came out, and she was doing, like, warm-up and stuff, and then started shooting, and, like, the crowd were cheering. But then Wilson came out. So Asia came out after, and the crowd went nuts, and you couldn't hear anything. And so it was surreal. Like, Clark was shooting down this end, Wilson was down the other end, and it was awesome. But then watching the fans, like, I was out the front because I had a cred. I was out the front of the media at the start of the game, like 3 hours prior, and all these fans, like, the Indiana's bus drove in.
Oh my god!
And all these fans, 90% male, no joke, 90% of them were male, and they were running. They all ran past me, and they've got those figurines and shirts and jerseys, like, and they're all, like, running to this bus. And then the bus does a circle and goes down underneath or whatever. And they all, and they all, like, walked off. But it was nuts watching people.
Yeah.
And as I said, like, male crowds, little kids, like, boys wearing a jersey, like, it was out of this world. But it'll be interesting because she's been injured.
Yeah.
Obviously, Asia's been injured. She had concussion a couple of weeks ago, and now she's had the wrist injury. So that's a bit of a watch for that game. But I was talking about the Mercury's socials, and I know that the young people watching this, and you included, will say Facebook's irrelevant.
It is.
But look at the Fever's followers compared to everybody else.
That's because I would actually want to see the demographics. I think they would have a much older fan base compared to other teams.
What? Pardon?
No, like, they would have the most amount of older people following them compared to other teams.
Why?
Because the old people...
Rationale?
No, old people love Caitlin Clark.
Old?
No, okay. This is like... So do young people,
What?
but I'm saying...
Stop. Explain.
I'm trying to find how to
Old
explain it.
people.
Some of the people that traditionally didn't watch women's sports are watching because of Caitlin, so then they support Indiana. Like, I just see all these people on TikTok who are like, oh, my, like, grandpa who, like, never cared for women's sports loves Caitlin Clark. I don't know.
That's really funny.
I just feel like, out of everyone, like, if you looked at the stats, like, the demographic, they would have the biggest portion of older
I
people.
would really like to see that. Just
I'm
because
like
now
convinced.
I'm
I'm
interested.
actually convinced.
Okay, well,
I want to see.
I'm going to do some digging.
Please do.
Again, people.
Young people love Caitlin Clark too.
Don't know if I'm on this camera, but follow the Mercury's socials, Facebook and Insta. But the Fever, 1.3. And then obviously Angel Reese, 440. So,
yeah.
And I put the two actually, like, best teams at the moment, the Lynx and the Liberty, in the mid 200 and, something thousands, and nowhere near the Fever.
Who's your old mate that only follows Phoenix in Chicago? They need to get onto the indie.
I believe that's Dean. Hi, Dean.
Follow the other three while you're there.
And then I was like, the Crumbs. Like, and here we are. Isn't this funny? Because
I think we've got the best logo out of all.
we have 200. And this is funny because the first time we mentioned our Instagram, we had 10 followers. So 240
That's actually not bad.
is a very big increase. That's brilliant. And in the meantime, I was going to say to the couple of people. So there's 240 followers. I think 5 people watch our reels and stuff. That's actually not true because in the last month we've had 40,000 views of our Instagram, right?
Oh.
And I was looking just out of interest at the demographic.
Oh no.
And it's like 60% male and 40%. No joke. And I was trying to figure out. I love you. Welcome, boys. But like, it was weird, right?
That's so random.
There you go. So 240. Next time I see you, could be 241. You never know. I do notice it's funny, like we get to 240 and then like post something like that's a bit random and people like, no, unfollow. And then it's 2:39. I'm like,
damn it,
dude, just mute us. But
just
can you
stay.
follow
Yeah,
us?
just stay. Yeah.
Anyway, 240.
That's shocked me that
pretty good.
most of men.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Getting through to the all audiences.
40,000 views though. Thank you to. Well, they'll never see it because they're not following us, but they're watching our stuff.
Maybe we made it on the Explore page.
Who knows? Eastern Conference, bit of an update. Obviously, the Liberty.
Yeah.
I wish Jordan was still here because he said the Liberty won't lose more than 5 games.
Boo.
Here we are, 19 games in, they've lost 6.
6.
And 4 and 6 of the last 10. So
That's interesting.
yeah, they've
Dropped off a bit.
they have dropped off a bit. They've
Peaked
been
too early.
struggling. And
we
look,
just appreciate Connecticut's 1 and 9 down the bottom.
they nearly didn't make it on. I nearly clipped them accidentally, but
They're winning off the court though. Have you heard about Marina Mabry's lives on TikTok?
yeah, I have. And
My favourite.
she is an interesting cat.
I
She's
love-
the
I
only
love
thing
her.
interesting about Connecticut, to be honest.
I love her. so
I've been watching, but look, even though the Liberty have been struggling, they're still at the top,
Yeah.
and they're the type of team that they'll hang around up there.
Yeah.
And if they come good when it matters, that's all that really matters. So, still doing good stuff. And then, of course, the Lynx have. I watched their first game, and I was sort of underwhelmed. And I was like
Yeah.
first game of the season, I was underwhelmed and thought, I don't know. Like I've picked them and the Liberty as the only 2 teams that could win it. I don't know about this, and they've just been out of this world.
Yeah.
Like Queen Fee she's so far above everyone else. Like she is the best player. Sorry, Stewie, but Fee is the best player in the league. Like
Sorry,
she's the
Asia.
MVP. Well, and Wilson's had a tough year because she hasn't been able to be on the court every game.
And she hasn't had support.
And her team, like, did you see the stats the
Yeah.
other night?
Yeah, she completely outscored the whole team.
Didn't she score in the 20s and the next was like 6?
I'm pretty sure it was like she scored 26 and the rest of the team scored 25 combined.
Yeah. So
Like
the next
ridiculous.
highest scorer was like 6 points.
God, get her some mates. Come on.
It's
what's going on up there?
so it's really hard for players like that to keep coming
Yeah.
out and dominating. Whereas, you know, Fee has had support. Like I said, Alana Smith's been good. Like Williams has been awesome.
She's
McBride, they've had a few people sort of step up
Yeah.
and do well. But Phoenix have been the team. Like even Seattle, Golden
How are they even
State,
up there? I don't know.
Vegas, like
Vegas are really far down. I
Yeah,
didn't realise how far
they
they
are.
dropped.
But
That's
they're
very
they're
interesting.
still in it, right? Like if you
Yeah.
get on a run where you win 3, 4, 5 in a row. But like Golden State have been around the mark and they just pick off a few teams here and there.
If you said at the start of the season the Golden State would be higher on the ladder than Vegas halfway through, no one would
No
believe
way. No way.
you. Though I did pick Valkyries to not be bad. I was like,
Yeah, you did.
They'll be good.
That reel had a lot of views. Well done.
Thank you.
So the Lynx still up there will follow the Mercury, and I'm way more interested now that Sammy's been dominating, so I've sort of been watching more. But now that DeWanna's there, I want to see what and it worked
Yep.
that first game. But let's see. And then I wanted to get your thoughts on me.
Me bounds.
Like great marketing. Like,
Yeah, she's a marketing genius. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Did you see Courtney Williams' comment when she found out Angel was on her All-Star team? She's like, well, we've got every rebound then. Like, I
Yeah.
appreciate she's good at rebounding, but my take on it is it's like, if you're not getting the first shot in, like, I think that's where the problem is.
Have you been watching? Like the last week though, she's been dominating.
Yeah.
Like
I
she's
saw a
been
few
top
clips, saw
top
a few
scorer.
highlights.
Like of course she leads the league She's like 12.6 average rebounds a game, and the next is 8. She's like
Rebounds.
the Asia Wilson of the league in rebounds.
Yeah.
But she's actually been scoring.
Yeah.
Like, I was taking the piss a bit a few weeks ago with some mates. I was like, oh my God, like, honestly, you're a loser. You just get your own rebounds because you can't get it in. But she's actually scoring.
Yeah, she's done.
Like, she's been their best player.
The rebounds.
Well, it could be.
Maybe the launch of that.
It's
I think it's
just-
good. Like, I think it's smart. It's funny.
It's brilliant.
And it's just, like, good on her for capitalising on that. Making a
100%.
brand for herself.
100%. I think it's great. I must say, we've got cocoa on the table, and I did
Yeah.
bring that back. I ate the Wheaties in the US and then bought the box back, so it's full of paper. You're welcome. But I was I think I sent you guys a photo in our WhatsApp group, but I was in the supermarket like a few days later and came across the Angel Wheaties box. That's
Yeah.
like, doesn't look like that one.
This is a nice box. I will say that.
Yeah. I look, anytime we're seeing women athletes
On cereal boxes.
on cereal boxes or anywhere, we're happy, right?
Yeah.
Before we move on from this, I did bring this book back, and I want to
Bit of holiday reading.
get Dav to have a good read of this, but it's Shattering the Glass, so the history of women's basketball.
Oh.
So this will be a good read, Dav.
Not that you don't have enough on your plate
Not that
already.
you don't have. No, stop lining up for dolls, and
Stop
you can
lining up
read
for
more
the
books.
So funny.
But moving on, closer to home, and a lot
Yes,
closer to home at the
Tillies.
moment because the Tillies have been in Perth
They have
for a
been.
series, and we've had a new coach announced. What are your thoughts so far on the situation with the Tillies?
I think they played 4 games. I think they had 2
Yep.
wins, 1 loss, 1 draw.
Yep.
Not a bad record, I guess. For your first kind of hit out.
Yep.
Look, we obviously knew new coach was happening. Like, that was inevitable after Tony left, and then they had the interim coach. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not very knowledgeable on soccer coaches, so it's not like I was here with a big opinion on who I wanted to coach the Tillies. I didn't really know. I was just like, but like I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking that he's being a bit experimental, like Alana Kennedy in the midfield, like a few changes there. I think they've got time to sort themselves out. I think we're in that weird process where it's like, your next major tournament's the Asia Cup, like.
Yep.
You're still trying to figure out people. So I think it's a weird time, but I think we'll be seeing success in the next few years. I think there's not really another option, to be honest, as well.
No, and I
low-key.
think the commentary from the players, pre the announcement, when I think, the public knew for a little while that he was probably going to be the coach.
Yeah.
Like, all the media narrative was he's going to get the job, but he'd signed overseas. He was in contract, and so they didn't want to sort of say anything. But when the players were ever asked, and of course he's coached a lot of them, they were like, oh, well, I mean, look, we can't say, but it'd be cool or it'd be great. So when the players are talking about a coach like that, that's a really
promising.
good start.
I
A couple
love
of other
the
images.
uniforms.
They're great,
uniforms
aren't
are
they?
so
A
good.
couple of images I want to share. And I'm sharing Michelle Heyman because I was reading about this the other night. Since she was brought back into the Tillies, I believe at the start of 2024, she's scored more goals than anyone by she's 4 or 5 ahead of the next top scorer for the Tillies. She has been amazing.
Yeah.
She's been amazing. She scored another 2 in that last game and was player of the match. But she's been brilliant, and I love when the veterans come in and they're role players. They're not like, oh, the veterans come in and she's going to sit on the side and she might play a few minutes. Like, she's dominating in front of goal at a time where, we've lost a little bit of depth at times with players being injured.
Yeah.
And then on the right, obviously, Sam Kerr back with the group. I mean, even just from an inspirational perspective, to see her back out there on the track and for her teammates to have her back in camp, I'm sure was massive.
It's been a long time.
It has.
It felt like an eternity.
So it's been more than 18 months. It was January, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2024. And that leads us to next year, and this is it, the Asian Cup. And there's, same as the World Cup, but not obviously not that scale. But
Yeah.
the expectation is
It's high.
the expectation's really high
Mm-hmm.
for the Tillies at this tournament. So I'm pretty pumped.
Keep your eyes peeled on
Yeah,
that.
keep your eyes on that. I'm pretty pumped about that. And then the other cool
Yeah.
news that I thought was, and I love the announcement, and I
Took me
just
off
think Ellie
guard.
Carpenter, whose jersey is behind your head, she is just a superstar. She's joined Chelsea
Yep.
with our mate, Sam
Our
Kerr,
old mate, yeah.
old mate. But were you surprised when you saw it?
Oh,
Or
I was shocked.
were you?
I don't know if it was just because I wasn't paying enough attention to the women's soccer transfer world. Like maybe maybe there was hints and I just wasn't paying attention. But yeah, I saw it and I was like, huh? I was
Yeah.
like, what? I was shocked. But it's awesome.
Mm,
Love to see it. And
pretty cool for
it's very
Aussie
cool.
Aussie football.
Yeah.
Get
Get another one in Chelsea.
And then the National League in the US,
NWS.
they're on an international break at the moment. We have some players over there. Obviously, Mackenzie Arnold's been injured, so she's only played 6 games. Angel City have been, let's be honest, they've been terrible. I don't know if you've been following
Yeah.
the league
I've
or
been
not.
seeing it.
They've been terrible. Caitlin Torpy's played, Mackenzie Arnold, Caitlin Torpy. Caitlin Torpy's played 10 games, actually, and she's been pretty good
Yeah.
for Portland. And Courtney Vine struggled, so she's only played 6 games. She's with North Carolina. But they're the only real contenders at the moment.
Yeah.
And Alana Kennedy, obviously, with Angel City, and they've been shit. I just said they've been shit. So Mackenzie Arnold, Caitlin Torpy with Portland, around the mark, but not great.
Yeah.
North Carolina have been pretty good. So
Yeah.
I don't know what role Courtney Vine will play, but Angel City, for what was, pre-season, they were the headliners. We're the most, expensive women's team, franchise in the world. We're this, we're that, we're everything. And we all know what happens when you don't win. So I'm sort of following
Yeah.
what happens now, because everything's sort of changing. And the reason I really brought up the league in the US is because it is the middle of the season. It is an international break. And I don't know if you know the lady on the screen, but that
Yes,
is
of
Trinity
course
Rodman
Of course I know who that is.
from the Washington Spirit. And Trinity Rodman, who came into the league as the youngest player ever to sign and play in the league at the time, I don't think that still stands. People know her. When I say her name to anyone else, they're like, oh, Dennis Rodman, NBA.
Yeah.
And
I didn't even know who he was, I'm not going to lie.
and she hates it
Yeah,
because
okay.
she has no relationship with him, and it's no surprise he's probably a dick of a guy.
Yeah.
Davin could probably give us more context as an NBA follower back in those days, but her boyfriend,
Wimbledon.
Ben Shelton, she was seen there, and she was in the media again because everyone started talking about her dad, and she's
Yeah.
like, well,
How frustrating is
stop
that?
talking about it. Like, he's
Yeah.
not in my life, whatever. But I put her up not to put this into the spotlight again, but because it's free agency period at the moment. And I love this about this league, and I think we should do this more. Like, I'd love when the AFLW becomes we play everyone once. How cool would a mid-season break be where there's like free agency,
Yeah.
mid-season trade, draft, whatever? But she could be out. Now, she's been injured,
Yeah.
right? So she hasn't been playing, but she's a free agent. So the talk of the town is, will she be traded? Will she suit up post-break somewhere else? And obviously she's a big name and she's a good player.
Yep.
But I love that leagues are doing that, and seems so foreign when you bring that up in Australia. Like,
Yeah.
and not just women's sport, in men's sport. Like, I talk about this in the AFL, and people are like, no, you can't do that. You can't. Like, I love in the NRL how, like, Daly Cherry Evans 8 weeks ago, I don't know if you know who that is. He captains Manly. He came out in the media and said, I'm leaving the club. He's captain. I'm leaving the club. This is my last season, and I'll be looking elsewhere. So now he turns up every week. He's the captain. He's playing. But everyone knows he's leaving. And it's caused controversy
Yeah.
to a degree, but it hasn't, because that's how the NRL works. Like,
Yeah.
people are playing at a club, but they've already signed somewhere else.
Yeah.
I love that. It's just drama. It's exciting. It's entertainment. I love it. I want us to do that.
Okay.
I want the AFLW to do it. I mean, we're infancy of the league. We're not at that point yet. But when we're playing everyone once,
Yeah.
mid-season trade, draft,
The
free
whole shebang.
agents, it'd be so cool. Anyway, what else is happening? We're less than 40 days from the W. I've received my AFLW media accreditation.
Oh.
So I'm pretty pumped about that.
That's
I will
good.
be at a bunch of games, and I will be at Icon Park
Yeah.
on Thursday the 14th of August,
Mhm.
because Collingwood are playing Carlton,
Yep. Big season
the
opener.
big rivalry. And let's be honest, those two teams have been crap for years, like
Yep.
not just recently. They've been crap. Carlton have been worse than crap.
Yeah.
Carlton have been hopeless, and your mob haven't been much better, to be honest. Have you got any thoughts on this? Is season 10, right? So, you know, I think that is a big deal. Like, 10 years isn't a long time, but 10, we like to celebrate 10,
Yeah.
20, 30 anniversaries. But it's a big deal that it's year 10, and I think with that comes an expectation on, you know, and there's been a lot of stuff in the media this
Yeah.
week with Caro Wilson, your mate.
My mate.
Shout out, Caro.
Shout out Caro.
Will the real Caro please stand up?
The original.
The
I've
OG.
claimed it.
I'll pass that on when I see her.
Yeah, please do.
What's going to happen? Because even without them putting out that report,
Yeah.
it's very clear the AFL are
Yeah.
losing money on that league. Attendance has been down. The numbers are all there to see. The viewership numbers are down. We know that. We've talked about that before. Like, what do we need to see this year? What do you need to see to be happy in year 10, do you think?
I mean, it's a tough one because when I look at the things like the attendance being down and all that, I'm like, it just sometimes feels like an impossible puzzle to solve because it's like, it's all, and then you go back to like season times and curtain raises and blah, blah, blah. In terms of what I would need to see, my thing is when you watch the games, like last season, it was still high quality. Like, it wasn't like the quality of the games going down.
No.
If anything, it's getting better because you have
Yeah.
these young ones coming through that have been playing their whole lives. So it's like hard for me because I'm like, if I just see good footy,
Yeah.
it's like, what more can the players do? It then turns into an off-field issue of like marketing and everything. But it's just a tough one because I honestly, like, it's one of those things that like for so long I'm like, I just want the league to grow and everything. But like every time someone asks like, oh, like, I'm like, I honestly don't know what the solution is. Like, is it one of those things you honestly have to wait out? Because it is, even though 10 years is like a long time, comparing it obviously to the AFL, it's nothing. They've been around for centuries. So it's like, is it one of the things where you literally do have to wait it out and like just kind of weather the storm until you get, I don't know, just the Caitlin Clark of the AFLW?
My next comment was going to be Caitlin Clark. Like,
do they need a Caitlin Clark of the AFLW?
Who-
Is that what it's going to come to? Like,
well, and let's be honest.
then
We
it's
just talked about
harder.
that earlier. When she stopped playing, 50% of the audience stopped watching. Imagine the AFLW brought in a Caitlin Clark. And I think this could happen, legitimately.
Yeah.
Whether it's right or wrong, and whether it's the absolute answer, probably not.
No.
But it could happen because we've seen academy programs now. So
Yeah.
a lot of the players who are playing, whilst they've been playing footy a long time, they never had the development opportunities early on. Whereas the ones coming in between now and, let's say now and the next 10 years, have all been playing since they were like 4, 5, 6 years old. So by the time they get to their teenage years, they've had 10 years of extra training,
Yeah.
footy knowledge, IQ, strategy, like basic skills are going to be so much better developed. Like
Yeah.
just executing more consistently, all those things. I don't know. I feel like that could happen. Like there
Yeah.
could just be this gun player who comes out and becomes the face of the league. And
Yeah.
at the moment we've got some players like that, and they're great players, and they're entertaining, and they're skilled, and they're charismatic, and we like them, but they're not that player.
Yeah.
So that intrigues me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think that there needs to be more work, and I'm sure this is happening because there's a reason I don't get paid the big bucks to do those jobs.
Yeah.
But there's got to be more in it, like even double headers, like playing 2 games at the one venue, carnival atmosphere, you know, family friendly, cheap family tickets, kids go for free, get the parents in to pay and the kids free. They'll all buy food, they'll all buy jerseys, whatever. Good activations.
Yep.
I don't know. I like the curtain raiser idea in the short term because, you know, it gets people to the venue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like one of those things where I honestly don't see, like, I don't know what the solution is right now because I think the players are doing what they can. Like, it's not like the actual product's crap.
I think you're right. It's a wait and see.
Yeah. Like
and it's the long game. It's this isn't we're investing and we need to be doing this. I think
that's what I think people are
when they were
that
investing
the
or when they started investing in this league, I don't think anyone did the numbers and went, we're going to be making millions. I think they knew, well, like any investment, we're investing our money because in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, we'll break even. And then, and people can see what's happening when people invest in women's sport now, and brands want to invest in it. And there's great value for them to invest. So I think that they're playing the long game and they need to, and they're going to have to weather that storm.
Being patient a little bit. People can go, oh, well, we've been patient for 10 years. It's like, well, unfortunately, darling, a successful league takes a bit longer than 10 years.
Well,
the WNBA's been around since what? 90s?
It sounds like
80s?
a long time, but 10 years is not a long time.
Not when there was so many other battles to be fought, like just public attitudes towards women playing footy and stuff. Like, you know, you already have to deal with that. So yeah, I think as long as the players are obviously putting out a high quality, which they did last year, and I'm sure if anything, it's improved again. Like, not much else we can do right now.
We'll try and do a preview show.
Yeah.
In the next couple of weeks when you're gallivanting around the world. Yeah. We'll do a preview show a little bit like WNBA, and we'll look at the teams. Anyone who's come in, any rookies that we think are going to do well. Oh, I did see Bree Davey. I didn't watch that video. Was there did she provide a reason or?
I didn't watch a video. I read an article, didn't watch the video. I think the article I read, it was more so she could focus on her performance.
And her performance has been lacking.
Yeah. Like, I think coming back from injury
the last couple of
the
years.
last few years.
Because when she did her last injury, she was the reigning there were 2 of them who won, I think, that year.
She also stood down to she goes, it's the right time to bring the younger leaders up, but also she wants to focus on her footy after so many injuries. She feels like it's the right time to pass it on.
Hello, Ghost of AFLW, entering the chat.
Jesus.
Producer Dylan with the stats. There you go.
Mic drop, bang.
Okay, well, there's the reason.
I think either way, I think it's a good move because she's been, like, nowhere near her best. Like, she was the best player in the league. And then she came back from that second ACL and she's just not. And again, Collingwood's been horrible.
Yeah.
So they haven't had a lot of players around her. Like, they lost Chloe Malloy. You know, 2 years ago, Chiocci left. So suddenly some of these sort of really good players and really smart players aren't around you. And that has an impact. So, but we'll do that other show. We have a special guest, and you were not in the studio, but I was really lucky to interview Amelia Mehmet-Grohn. She is a professional golfer. She's on the women's tour in Australia. She's based in Coffs Harbour. And she was at Iowa State. So she spent 5 years at Iowa State on their golf team. Div 1, Big 12 conference, like massive, one of the biggest conferences in the US, one of the biggest golf programs in the US. I think she said their golf facilities are top 4 in the US, so top 4 in the nation. She was there during COVID, so she'd done 4 years and then got an extra year of eligibility for missing that pandemic or the pandemic year. And now she's back and she's preparing. She's doing some work with a performance coach, a mate of mine, Dee Anderson, up in Coffs Harbour, and she's preparing to basically try out for the LPGA next year. So she's doing a bunch of stuff here, playing a bunch of tournaments with an eye on next year. So we're going to head to that chat and hear from Amelia. But before you go, Caro, any words of wisdom or any final comments for this week? We need a buzzer.
I was trying to think of something funny that one of the WNBA players put out on the Instagram this week, but it just left
Can't
my
think of
mind.
anything.
No.
I will
Sad.
organise my glasses and my bling.
Yeah, I need
Although
to
you need
find
to
them.
organise your glasses.
I need to find them.
But I think next episode,
Stressed.
the challenge is I need glasses and bling.
Yep.
To come to the party, I've let that go a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'll work on that. It's great to have you back in the studio.
Thank you.
Good luck on your trip. Tell the viewers where you're off to, actually.
I'm off to the Women's Rugby World Cup. Not till
Amazing.
like early August, but before then I'm doing some camps with the Wallaroos. So
Amazing.
yeah, go the Wallaroos.
So what
Get on
I'm
board
hearing
is
what I'm hearing is inside content for the Crumbs Instagram's 240 followers.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
We'll
gotta
hold you
be
to that.
professional first.
We'll hold you to that.
Okay.
All right, Caro, good luck. And
Thank
thanks
you.
to our viewers for tuning in. We'll
Yep.
see you next time.
See yous.
All right, we've got a very special guest joining us today. I'm going to actually let you introduce yourself, but we have got Amelia Mehmet-Grohn, and I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Have I, Amelia?
Yeah. Yes, you have. Yep.
It's always a great start when you can pronounce the name of your guest, I find. Very excited to have you. And I want you to sort of set the scene. And not a lot of people who are listening to our show are going to know a lot about you. So who is Amelia Mehmet-Grohn?
Well, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. It's exciting. Who am I? I am a professional golfer on the WPGA Tour, which is the Australian Tour, women's tour. I started playing golf when I was about 13 and just absolutely loved it. And here I am, just get to do it as my dream job.
Amazing. And sort of the start for me is why golf? I think I asked most guests this. Why did you get into your sport, or how did you end up on the golf course?
Great question. Well, when I was very young, my granddad bought my brother, who's 2 years older than me, bought him a set of golf clubs. We probably would have been maybe 6 or 7. And I had only just started playing grass hockey at the time. And I think, with hockey, you kind of get into a little bit of that swing pattern. And so my brother, not really athletic inclined. He didn't get touched by that gene from my dad. So, I would just muck around with the golf clubs in the backyard, not really thinking anything of it. And then when I was 13, in the last year of primary school up in Queensland, I'm a Queenslander. Woohoo, go the Maroons. We went out to a different school sport every Friday afternoon, and we went to the golf club, and I just absolutely loved it. And I went home to mum and said, can I go play juniors on a Sunday? And I just picked it up from there, and then just absolutely loved it.
That's cool. Was it and this will be good insight for me as a baseballer who loves to just hit a golf ball as far as I can with no real care as to where it goes. But is that did you love just hitting the ball? What was it about golf that you loved so much when you started to play?
I think it's just the satisfaction of, you could have the crappiest round of your life, but as long as you hit one good shot, it'll get you coming back. I think, just the satisfaction of hitting or, feeling the club the ball coming out of the middle of the club face. I don't know. It's a very odd thing to describe to people, but yeah, I don't know. It's just that innate satisfaction of hitting it. It's just really nice.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Not that I hit many
Yeah.
that nice, but I
Yeah.
can
But
understand.
I do have a funny story. You being a baseball player. So one of my college roommates. I had two college roommates that played softball, and we actually went out one summer, and Sammy tried to hit a ball, and she actually hit it behind her. Like she went backwards. She got so frustrated. So yeah, I think it's quite funny when people come from like a softball or a baseball sport and they just try to hit it as hard as they can, because it is like the technique of it is slightly different. Obviously the ball's lower and on the ground, but yeah, it was quite funny.
Yeah. A good mate of mine played in the All-American Girls Professional League, a league of their own. The movie, I don't know if you've seen it.
Awesome.
And she went on to play professional golf for a few years. She's in her 90s now, and we still, when I visit the US, we go out onto the course, and she says, Simone, for the 100th time, stop swinging like a baseballer. Golf is not baseball. And there's nothing I can do.
But it is funny though, because when you're trying to flatten out your swing, is one of the drills is to pretend that you're a baseball player. So it's quite funny. You try to mix the two together.
Yeah, interesting. I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, college. So 12, 13, you go down, you love the sport, you're hooked. When did you realize, like at what point when you were growing up, did you realize, well, I want to do this? You know, this is sort of what I want to do, and I'd love to go to college. Tell us about that journey.
I think I was my original like coach that helped me get into golf, Brian, up in Hervey Bay. He kind of, said, there's an avenue of going to college if you wanted. Mind you, I was only probably 4-5 months into playing golf, and I just loved it so much that, that would be unreal, being able to go over to a different country. And then so that idea developed. And when I moved, so about a year into playing golf, I moved from Hervey Bay to Coffs Harbour. And I think I was getting close to about 16, and you had to start obviously looking into getting into colleges, because they do it quite early on with their recruiting. And throughout that time, I had to give up grass hockey, and Mum just kind of said, there's a bit more money in golf. So I was like, okay, give golf a red hot crack. And I got in touch with I was in the development squads for New South Wales, and I got in touch with a coach by Khan Pullen. He actually works with Gracie Kim, who's on the LPGA. And he helped me get in contact with a lady who does up resumes so that you can put it out to all the college recruiters, because there's so many colleges over there. It's absolutely crazy. And then and then the education of it, there's Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3, and, Division 1's where you want to go to. So he helped me do that, and I got in touch with a lower ranked division university, and then I kind of lost track a little bit there, and then I got in contact with my college coach, Christy Martins. And we just absolutely hit it off from there, and I went over for a recruitment visit, which is you get 48 hours just to be on campus, because that's the rules by the NCAA. You're not allowed to spend any more time there, which is the rules of the NCAA are absolutely crazy. But so I went over there for 48 hours, got to see what the facilities were like. And, if you can't get better at Iowa State, you really can't get better anywhere, because their facilities, if you look it up on Golf Digest, it's like top 4 in the world.
Wow.
So, or in the nation. So it was pretty epic. Any golf shot under the sun you can hit there. So it was pretty cool.
Were you ever sort of thinking of ending up anywhere else, or sort of when you went to campus, you were like, this is it, this is where I want to be?
I just fell in love with, the whole place, my teammates, they were, that's a different aspect of, golf is such an individual sport, and then you go to college and you've got a team, and they're relying on you to play well and to show up for them as well. And I think, just the team that they had at the time was so much fun. And I'm very grateful for my time at Iowa State.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. So I've got one regret in my life. I played high-level baseball, and when I was a teenager, everyone was like, why aren't you playing softball and you can go to college? I'm like, that sport's horrible. I love baseball, la, la, la. And now I'm 44, going on 45 real soon, thinking, man, I wish I'd gone to college. Like, that experience of living, I'm a big fan of not everything about the US, but the US. But what was it like? I mean, like that, I was Big 12 conference. Yeah, so you were Big 12, like massive from a sports perspective in the US. But tell me about being at a college like that, like a Div 1 college. Like, what was the experience like? What are the things you learned? Tell us about it.
So many life lessons coming out of college. I think my freshman year was a wake-up call. You've got to have a certain GPA, not even set by the university, but just by your coach, just because of the travel times and everything, trying to keep in track with that. It was just an experience that I was so excited for. And then when I got over there, it was like, holy crap, I'm here. And so, I had to become a bit more organized, be a bit more punctual with my time. And there was a point in my freshman year where I thought, I don't know what I want to study, because it's such a broad range of things that you can study. And I just recommend, choose something that you love to do. Are you going to end up using it? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I haven't used my degree since. I studied criminal justice. And then with COVID, I was able to get an extra year of eligibility. So then I studied my master's in political science, which was wild at the time just because of Trump and all that fun stuff going on. There was definitely a time of being so far away from home. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. Like, colleges definitely was some of the toughest years of my life, but that character development, I wouldn't replace it for the world. Like, it was just so much fun going to tailgates with the college football, being in a Division 1, you travel a lot, especially in the Big 12. So a lot of A class, they range A class, B class, C class, and I think D maybe. And I think they range down in terms of tournaments. And you're playing on one of the biggest amateur stages in the world. A lot of the girls that were on there on the LPGA right now. So just even doing that, just keeping up with all of that stuff, it was definitely hard, but I absolutely loved it. It was good fun.
Yeah, awesome. I was reading up about you during the week, and Iowa put an article out. You obviously everyone missed a season during the pandemic, which is a pretty interesting time for everybody. And they talked about how you went away and you sort of focused on strengthening your mind, doing things off the course to help yourself when you came back. Can you talk us through a little bit about what that time was like for you?
In the uncertainty of COVID and all that type of stuff, I think I just kind of focused on, eating. I got into fitness a little bit more. And I think that just kind of helps you out on the golf course. I spent a little bit more time with my coach's family. Just trying to be a well-rounded individual, I think. And that's what my coach over there, and that's also what Dee's teaching me right now, is to just be a little bit more of a well-rounded individual. Golf, I think, being in a professional and high amateur at that time, you just kind of, it's like this big lens that you've got, and you kind of just shrink it down. There's little lenses in your life, or there's, as Dee likes to call it, you got a chair, you've got 4 legs, what each leg has a different meaning in your life. And I think just enjoying that because I didn't know what I wanted to do, how I wanted to turn professional and all that type of stuff. So it was just a bit of uncertainty, and I just kind of said, well, all I can do is do another year of college golf. And my coach was, you know, a lot of coaches let you go off and do LPGA Q school, and my coach was a little bit kind of like, she wouldn't let us do that because is your time invested in the college, which is totally fair enough, and I completely agree with that. So she actually said, you know, if you wanted to stay for the next year during COVID, I would love to have you back. If you want to go do LPGA Q school, that's cool. They ended up cancelling it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, she just kind of taught me to just kind of take a step back. You don't have to rush this opportunity. And yeah, I had another great year over there, and I think it was very good for me. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that.
Brilliant. Tell the listeners LPGA Q school. What is that? And what
a
are
lot of
your
people think that
plans
you go
now?
to school. That's not quite accurate. It's a range of, there's 3 stages that you go through. This year they've changed it up to stage 1. There's different usually it would only be in Palm Springs in California, but they've changed it up to 3 different locations. And then at each location, because there's over probably like 300, 400 girls that go to stage 1 of qualifying. And then about 100 girls get through on average. Sometimes it might be more, sometimes it might be less, just based on how many girls are playing. And then that's typically in August, September. And then stage 2 goes through, that will be at another location in October. So then a certain amount of girls get through to stage 3. And then stage 3 is Q series. So it's 8 rounds. And I think there's a day, 2 days in between for a rest. And then it's go time again. So it's 4 rounds and 4 rounds together. And then I believe it's 45 girls from there get their full LPGA tour card. So it is quite cutthroat. That's just the nature of, you know, the sport. Each year, you know, even though you get your LPGA card, or I get my WPGA tour card here in Australia, you still have to perform each year and hope that you get within a certain points ranking, money listing to keep your card. So yeah, it's definitely cutthroat, but I think that's just the nature of, obviously it's just like any job, you know, if you don't do your job, you don't get to keep it. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And so is that on your horizon this year, or what's the plan for that?
I was looking to do LPGA Q school because when I got back from college, I went through a bit of a rough period I went away from my original coach, went through a couple of other coaches, and just I felt like there was such a grass is greener type of thing. I'd just gotten back from college, everything's there, and with that opportunity of turning pro in Australia, so that was when COVID was ramping up, and I so you couldn't really do anything until the end of 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
So they said, if you turn pro at the end of 2021, we'll give you a card and you can play for that season. It doesn't really go towards anything, but you have a money listing and then you have to do qualifying again at the end of the next year.
Yeah.
So that was an offer really that you can't refuse because you're getting play time without having to qualify for it. So I did that. I just basically did it all myself that season. And then I went to another coach throughout because I was a little inconsistent and I needed to fix that. And then went through a couple coaches, went to LPGA Q school in end of 2022. Which probably wasn't the right choice to do, but I probably wouldn't have had it any other way. I think that was something that I had to do. And then for the next year, the next season, it was probably some of the hardest mental, like I have never stood over a golf ball and thought, I have no clue where it's going to go. Like, I was just so mentally drained. Everything was off the planet. I had no clue what was going on. And, you know, a lot of the times golf, you got to try and control what you can. And I was just so far from doing that. And so the following season, I think it was 2023, I went back to my original coach, Brendan Barnes, out at Sawtell, and just went back to the original plan and just get a nice, simple swing, get the action going under pressure. And it's been really good ever since. And then this time last year, I started working with Dee Anderson, who is a performance coach and an absolute legend. And I think my golf has just, and me as a person, I've changed so much. And it's really cool. Like, when you step back, you know, last week she was actually telling me, you need to step back and have a look at how far you've come. Mm-hmm. And I'm not normally one to do that. I'm very, I'm just, you know, you got to keep looking at the picture, you know, you got to keep going. I'm grateful for all the opportunities that I have. And unfortunately, you know, you have to go through those moments in your life. And so the long story short, I thought that my golf was progressing so much this year that, you know, I should go to LPGA Q school. But I think I need to take another year to be a bit more consistent with 4-round tournaments. You know, I'm not quite up to the LPGA standard of living, you know, playing.
Yeah.
And I believe that I can get there. I just got to be patient. You know, life's not a sprint. It's a long marathon, and you just got to keep, you know, making sure that you're keeping up with yourself and reflecting. And so, yeah, I'm choosing to do it next year. So this time next year, if we have another chat, I'll be going over to LPGA.
We will be having another chat. This is so once we've had a few superstars on recently who are doing great things in sport. I'll tell you more about that off air. But I want to talk about Dee because she is a legend. She's a good mate of mine. And it's funny, I was working with Dee in a professional setting and realised after the fact, probably with her help, that me as a person had grown significantly due to the things that we were working on in a professional setting. How important is Dee, and did you seek out support from somebody like her, or how did you stumble across it, or was it something you knew you wanted to do?
I kind of knew that, you know, I needed to work on myself mentally. I had worked with someone previously, but it wasn't full-on work like what we were doing, and I needed that. And my strength and conditioning coach, Hugh, got me. Dee had moved up here, and I'd heard about her through the club, but I was away on tour and just hadn't really thought about it. And my strength and conditioning coach, Hugh, said, you know, I think it would be an excellent avenue for you to go. And Dee's a person where you got to reach out to her. She's not going to get in touch with you, because unless you want to put in the work, you know, then she's not, you've got to want to do it yourself. And so I called her up, and I remember the phone call, and she said, you know, you got to bring your notebook, bring everything, bring, you know, a good sense of self, and we'll kickstart it. And I remember being so nervous because I thought that, you know, it's so vulnerable. One thing that she's taught me is that I've had a lot of things happen in my life where I think about it logically, and I just have to push them aside, and I have to keep going because that's just what I have to do. And I think it's just a human response, and she's just kind of helped me unpack all of that. You know, you are human, you do have these feelings, and you should feel them. And so, yeah, she's just been such a huge impact in my life. She's come along with me to a few tournaments, and it's been absolutely unreal having her in my life. I genuinely don't know what I would be doing without her. So don't ever tell her that. But yeah, she's awesome, and I'm very grateful.
She's definitely going to watch this. I want to sort of on the back end of that. You know, you play a sport. I was talking to you off air. A sport that is just, you know, as you've already mentioned, one day you're just hitting everything sweet, you know, middle of the club, down the middle of the fairway, you know, onto the green, putt, she's in. And then the next day, it all turns to hell and you can't, you know, do what you did the day before. Like, what is the importance of the mental side of life, I suppose? Like, as a person, being able to get up every day and just keep going with your golf. Like, tell me about that part. That really intrigues me.
I think it's just the consistency, or, you know, again, you're human. You're not always going to hit it perfect. And I know that they've got all the gadgets under the sun, TrackMan, everything to tell you, you know, this is 0. This is where you're hitting on the club face. This is 0. But you're human. Your body is going to feel different the next day. You know, how you recover. That's been one of the biggest things, is what we've been working on, is recovery. You know, I've got my pre-round set. Everything's good. And then one thing that when we were traveling recently down for the New South Wales Open, you know, what you fuel your body with today is how you're going to feel tomorrow. So that's been one of the biggest things. But golf is just such a game of life. You know, each day it's not going to be, you know, hunky-dory. You know, it's just going to throw curveballs at you. Things are going to happen in your family, you know, when you're away on tour. You know, it's just, golf is and it's a humbling sport, you know, and I think it's just, one of the things that Dee has taught me is, you know, you got to be where your feet are. And right now, if I was playing out on the golf course and I hit a crappy shot, well, all I can do is now walk to the next shot and then hit it again. You know, I think there's so many quotes about that on the internet. You know, all you can do is hit your shot and go find it again. And I think, yeah, golf is just so much like life. And I think that's why I love playing this sport, is that you're not going to want to wake up every day and go, especially when you don't hit it very well. It was such a large portion of my, you know, last couple of years, is learning that, you know, you're not always going to want to hit it. And I think that's why it's been such a big learning experience. And I feel so much better of having gone through that period of really crap golf. Like, I'm telling you, you don't want to see it. It was just not good. So yeah, I think it's just learning that, golf is just like life. That's basically all I have to say. And you just have to wake up and deal with it.
I love that. Hey, advice for just young people in general, but like in 2025, the importance of resilience, the importance of being able to figure stuff out. And as you said, be where your feet are and just keep going, but also reflecting as well, like we said from Dee. Advice for young people who might be looking to get into golf, particularly young girls, what would it be?
Just get out there and enjoy it. You know, don't take yourself too seriously. And when I say that, you know, I think a lot of people, as soon as they hit a good shot, they think, why can't I hit it like that all the time? You know, why can't I do this? You know, and I think it's just the technique behind golf. And I think the more you learn a good technique, the more consistent you're going to hit it. But I just would get out there and enjoy it, because that's what I did. I just absolutely loved hitting the golf ball. And I think just being where your feet are, embrace an opportunity to play this sport, because, you know, not many, although it is one of the largest growing sports in recent years because of COVID, but, you know, it is a wacky sport to play. If you think about it, you're trying to hit a ball into a little hole that's 300 meters away, in less shots as possible. So I think just get out there, enjoy it. You know, you're very lucky to play the sport. So gratitude. I think that's all I would say, is just gratitude.
Absolutely. Hey, we do a little bit of a quiz at the end of our episodes, and I want to throw some questions at you. Favorite food?
Favorite food? Right now, double cheeseburger. Absolutely love them.
Good answer. Favorite, what's on your playlist at the moment? Are you a music fan or? What are you listening to?
Yes, always got practicing, listen so many minutes during the day. Right now, probably Olivia Dean. Olivia Dean's my favorite artist at the moment.
Okay, nice. What if you could have any three people over for dinner, just for a dinner party, who would they be?
Oh, that's a tough question. I reckon Arnold Palmer would be an absolute legend to sit down and have a chat with. I'd want Dee to be there. Dee would be just such a fun person to have. And do you know, I'm going to throw a curveball in there because I think it would just be so funny. Donald Trump. I think it would just be hilarious.
I would pay to go to a dinner party with Trump and Dee Anderson. That would be a good time. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, completely agree.
My last question is, do you need a caddy? Because I'll come down to Melbourne, and when you're in Melbourne next, if your caddy's sick or not available, just yell out.
Sure. Yeah, I'd love that if you came
I
on the
don't
back
know
down in
any
Melbourne.
clubs that you should use, so I can't provide advice, but I can hand the clubs to you.
Just a bit of chat and banter. That's all you need.
Yeah, I'm good for that. No, I'll definitely come down when you're playing in Melbourne next and have a look and say hi. And it's been awesome to chat with you. Once you're part of the Crumbs family, you're in for life. So we'll be following your journey. And when you do end up at Q School and you get through and you're famous, remember us little people down here in Melbourne. But we'll be following and supporting you, and it's just been so cool to chat. So a big thank you, especially for the technical difficulties earlier. But anything else you wanna pass on to people who are sort of maybe as you are working through your journey, and you know it's not a sprint. Anything else you sort of want to say to people who might be on their journeys, even if it's not in golf?
Embrace the hard times. And I know that it's hard to say it when you're in it, like it sucks, but yeah, just embrace all aspects of your life and just always be reflective, because it definitely helps you be a better person, not just for yourself, because if you're a better person for yourself, then you're a better person for other people, and we need that in the world. So just reflective and keep working on yourself.
Amazing answer, and Dee will love that one. She'll be very proud of you when she hears this episode. It's been awesome, Amelia. Thanks so much for coming on.
Cool. I absolutely love what you're doing. More awareness in women's sport and hearing their stories is absolutely awesome. So thanks so much for letting me come on the podcast.
You're a star. And yeah, I'm not kidding. I'll definitely come down. When hopefully if Dee's down with you, I'll come out and come onto the course and say hi. And yeah,
for sure.
But good luck with
Sounds
everything. Good. I hope it all goes as well as it can, and you're so lucky to be working with Dee.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.